Hi. It is I, Dr. Stevii Aisha Mills, and tonight we're tuning in for an extra special episode. You know, I am normally the one in the interviewer seat, but tonight I get to have my dynamic coach, a woman who makes such a impact on my life each and every day. And let me do an edges check. Wait a minute now. Let me do an edges check, child, because she is about to come with the power, and I know she is. So I'm just excited, ignited. I'm ready. I ate my Wheaties, and I dressed up for school color day. It's school color day, so I'm rocking my A&T. This is very special. It's made by a very special designer that I know, and so shouts out to Dwayne Nash. Had to wear his stuff, rock his stuff. But yeah, so Dr. Porter is here, and I am ready because, when guy comes up in here, no telling what we're going to talk about. And I put in the information that it is candid conversation, so nothing is off the table. So we're going to see. We're going to have fun. We're going to see. So without any further ado, I want to welcome you, Coach, Miss Marilyn, Pastor Porter, Apostle, Bishop, everything she is, and everything, is amazing because she's a lot in my life. I normally go in her inbox and say, do you know how to do this? And she kind of knows everything. So y'all are in for a treat. So without any further ado, it is your time to come to the microphone, Coach.
Hello. Good evening, everyone, and thank you all so much. Day, right? We kind of get lost in our days over this pandemic, but I believe it is a Friday evening, and you could be any. The Holy Spirit laid it on my heart some time ago. This isn't something that we just decided to do like yesterday or today. Like, we didn't just wake up this morning and decide that this is what was going to happen. And so it's just been pressing on my heart that there needed to be a conversation around not just Stevii Mills, but around all of the things, all of the components that have designed Stevii Mills. Like, where has the hand of God shown up over the years? And the reason that I believe I'm supposed to do this is because sometimes you have to unpack yourself. And our goal on tonight is for Stevii to be the example, right? So we're going to unpack Stevii and to look at your own journey and question things that have happened over the span of time that have caused you to be who you are today. I know there are probably many of you who think you're in the wrong place at the wrong time, but I offer you on tonight that all of the setbacks, all of the things that have discouraged you, ailments in your body, your mind not being at peace, all of those things have played such a great part. And so I couldn't think of a better person to test my theory on than Dr. Stevii Aisha Mills from the great state of North Carolina. And so I'm just going to dive right in. I normally, when I do interviews, I always serve notice to Miss Oprah Winfrey that I'm coming for your spot, girl. When all is said and done, the world is going to know Marilyn Porter as like the greatest broadcaster in this arena that has ever lived. And so I'm coming for you, girl. I'm still coming. But I'm going to just go ahead and dive right in. And so, Stevii, one of the questions that I really believe will be beneficial to the audience is, could you just take us on a chronological journey of the Stevii Aisha Mills evolution?
Oh wow. Well, to me, my story started.
Are we freezing up?
We're good. Yeah, I think my story started in 2009. That's where I remember the story starting, like when you asked me about that. And 2009 was the year that I was stuck on a job I hated. So that was a hard decision, because I had arrived to myself and I was like, I'm good. You know, I had gotten that corporate job and I thought that was it. I thought, you know, I had reached the epitome of life. I'm there now. And the 3 B's, so big girls, paychecks, business cards, and benefits. I thought, I was like, oh my gosh, I did everything my mama and daddy said, go to school, get a job. You know, as a matter of fact, I went to grad school. I did everything. I wanted to make sure I did it twice. That's why A&T means so much to me for so many reasons. But I was in that stuck place, and then I arrived and I hated it. And I'm like, oh heck, what do I do now? This story is not supposed to go like this. This story is not supposed to go like this. I am supposed to be.
So when you say you hated it, when you say you hated it, give me an emotional definition. The reason I feel like what you endured kind of surpassed I just hated it. So what is what's the emotional description of what you were feeling and going through?
Stuck. I felt stuck. I felt defeated. I felt like it was like, really, what in the, if I could be so candid, what in the hell is going on? Because I knew that I was like, and I didn't know, it was my first time really having to deal with other people say. You know, my parents are very open, so and I'm only child. I'm the youngest in my family here in Virginia, so a lot of it was very free. My life was very free. So whenever I went to corporate America, and it was like, you got to do this, and even down to my personality, you can't even say this like this, and people who know me know my face says a certain thing, and I just don't have a way to, I'm either 0 to 100. It's not very much middle. I'm very, very happy, or very, very not. So it goes to that space. And so those were some of the things I went through, and even so much for the stress of the matter that I ended up very ill. So I went from a size 14 to a size 0, had shingles, and had 3 colonoscopies within 30 days, 2 within 24 hours. So for me, you know, that was where it started. And, you know, fast forward all these years later, almost 11 years in entrepreneurship, like the things that have happened, the things that, like, even I think what was it last year, realizing that I didn't trust God for myself, like realizing in a coaching session with my amazing coach, but realizing I didn't trust God for myself. I trusted God. I was a Christian. I had that wasn't the issue. But for me, I was like, I feel like the other foot is about to drop. Like the other shoe was about to drop. What is happening in my life? And that is the thing. Like so much greatness was, I had a great man, I had a great job, I had so much I was walking into, and it just seemed so easy. And I was like, what is about to happen? So I think that was a big part of it. And I think just chronologically, like even in the midst of pandemic, quarantine, corona, whatever you want to call it, I trusted him more than I ever did before. And I think that chronologically, that lesson had to come, like my surrender had to come, because if not, who knows where I would have been in this time? Who knows? Like I shudder to think where I would have been in the midst of a pandemic where you can't do anything. Like literally, I couldn't have done anything. So I think that time prepared me for this. And then another time that I had very recently, when I was like just shut down basically for like a month, I couldn't do anything. I was like, it prepared me for this time, but if I didn't trust God for that, then I wouldn't have been able to live in this time.
Right. Yeah, if you can't trust God, you can't trust the process. I understand that completely. That's real. That's as candid as it gets. Yeah, that's as candid as it gets. And so I know that is even blessing somebody right now, because they are not able to trust their process. And they don't realize that when you're not trusting the process, you're not trusting the God that's in control of the process. And that's difficult to admit for us church girls, right? That's difficult to admit for us church girls, because we want to stomp down that I trust God, my faith is strong, I'm this, I'm that. But then when the lights go down and the music stops and there's nobody there but you're like trembling in your boots, you know? And so it's difficult to say, wow, like I trust that God is a miracle worker. He'll work miracles for them. I trust that God is a healer. He'll heal them. I trust that God is a provider. He'll provide for them. But he won't do any of that for me. And that's a tough place to be. So shout out to you for really doing the work, to get down to that ugly, because it's ugly, right? It's not a pretty thing. And sometimes we have to get down to the ugly root of a thing in order to just like rise up. And I'm just going to do a little segue right here that once you got to that point, I don't know if anyone watching us has been seeing you display your receipts, but once you got to that point where you really were like, wow, I'm making a correlation to God that is inaccurate. And once you made peace with that, that thing began to go digital. You know, your business, it went digital. And I think I've been able to see everything. Even when, you know, we speak, there were things that, you know, 2 years ago, you would have been totally stressed out and, you know, once you came to that point, it was just like, come on now, Jesus. So thank you for that. Thank you for giving us just a peek into what you consider to be the beginning, because we know how God is, and we know that thing started way before 2009. But I appreciate you saying, okay, this is where I feel like it began for me. So it's 2020. So what are we talking about? 11 years? 11 years ago, almost 12 years ago. All right now. So next, I'm gonna, and I did write down questions just for the sake of keeping us on task, because, you know, we could just get to talking and we'd be like, ain't nobody else even here but me and you. You know what I mean? So I was like, I don't want to just forget that we have an audience. So let me just, you know, write some things down. But tell us, what has been your daily inspiration to keep us, and because we're always going through a process, but once you came through that process, what inspires you to keep going on a day-to-day basis?
I think God, really, my purpose, I know that there's nothing to quit to. I know that, like, my custom design assignment before anything in business is to really help women. I know that's what I've been put on the earth to do. So even no matter where I am, and no matter, even if I'm an entrepreneur or not, I will still have that and keep going. God just blessed me to be able to be one. Right. But I think really seeing my clients soar, I have some amazing clients in the season who are doing amazing things, and just like seeing their praise reports and testimonies, and that they're implementing what God has really drilled down on me to tell them is really impressive and amazing. So just being in the correct circles of different people who understand and praise Jesus for what he's doing in their life is inspirational to me, and understanding the bigger picture of where I want to be. And understanding that I've not yet arrived. Like, I don't think you've arrived until you're dead. So I've not yet arrived. I've done some great things, and God is a blessing for sure, but I don't think that I'm at a arrival point where I could just be like, oh, well, it's over, I'm just gonna sit here. And I thought my 40s was. I was like, I'm gonna retire at 40, I'm done with this. But the 40s is when my business grew. So I do work less than what I originally had set up to work, and that's been a blessing. But just really enjoying life to the place that I want to go. Like, I really enjoy life, and I've made my business part of my lifestyle and how I live my life.
Yes, true entrepreneurship, right? True entrepreneurship means that your job works for you. You don't work for your job, right? So true entrepreneurship, that is what's up. So Stevie, what is one negative event that has happened over the course of you growing and evolving and building? What is something negative that has happened, whether it be relational or business or something like your personal family life? What is something that has happened that when it happened, you thought it was going to take you out, but when you look back over your your life, you realize it was a powerful blessing?
Ooh. Um, That's deep. That's deep. And it's funny because coach sent me these questions and I glanced over it, but I didn't prepare my mind because I wanted to be in the moment of truth. Um, Really, 4 years ago, losing my home was something that was going detrimental. Like I didn't know what was going to be the next step. And that was a real clear detriment to me, and having to come back to a space where I grew up in, I felt like I was moving backwards. And so, people don't tell those things. Like, I'm just a very clear, open book about a lot of stuff, because I want people to know that God is not a respecter of people, and if he did it for me, he could do it for them. And so for me, but then when I look at the fact that what I've grown into in the last 4 years, and look at the fact of, I'm really keen on this Tyler Perry thing in this season about him becoming a billionaire in 15 years. Basically, it took longer, just like my backstory of where I said I started. It took longer. However, I think that being able, 4 years is not a lot of time when you think about it, and being able to kind of rebuild back and build more. Definitely, I had to get out my own way in that time, and I had to go to the space and the place of where it was almost like a rebirth. The Stevie who I am now is not the Stevie I was then. Like, it was almost like, I talk about caterpillars, butterflies, metamorphosis. I had to go back into the cocoon and really become the butterfly, because I do things fast. Coach knows that I implement fast. So I think I left my cocoon prior to the time, because of things that, like, the rent that I had then, I make that in a day or two. Like, and not.
Come on now. Come on here.
I was like, I'm not, and I said to somebody last night when I was showing my screenshot, I was like, I'm not bragging. I'm telling y'all how God has blessed, because I do believe that he's not a respecter of any person. If he's done it for me in my process and in my humanness, then he has definitely done it for anybody else. And I just live my life out loud. I just happen to live my life out loud. And so, I think the thing is, really, that was probably one of the most negative things. Again, that job. Now I quit jobs in the middle of a lunch hour.
I remember.
And that was even a greater strength, because that shows how I grew from that time, because I would never have done that in the middle. But I just live very boldly right now. And so, I do stay in the point of humility. I think humility is very important. The song that I love, Blessings Upon Blessings, it says when you stay low, then God basically has room to work. So that's the thing. So I try to stay very humble. There's a lot of things I could be out here bragging about and all this other stuff, but I don't think it's work. Like, to me, what I told them on a class I did last night, I said, whatever somebody's monetary goal does not pay your bills. So why would I do that? So I think that's a full circle answer of what you asked me. But I think those two things, and even my dad being ill, like, that's not been easy. My parents are truly the two most important people on this earth, followed by my boyfriend. He's important too now. But my parents are very important in my life, and the fact that my dad has been ill, that did something to me. Like, in the midst of me trying to still, especially in the midst of the quarantine, where it is not even healthy for me to go see him. It's not healthy for me to see somebody with a compromised immune system. And so it's a lot of mental stuff. Thank God I have an amazing coach.
And especially just your dad's person. But look, your dad, I'm going to go back to your dad and how he has such a lively, upbeat type of personality. And so for him to be going through, something that kind of calms him down a little bit, that can't be easy. But I see you day by day yet going through it. And if you didn't tell someone that your father was ill, no one would ever know. And so that brings me to my next question, which is, how does working with your clients, how do your clients inspire you? Because in the midst of everything that you're going through, you're coming in contact with certain people on a regular basis to help them. But what are they doing that helps you?
Oh Lord, now I'm about to cry. My clients are amazing. Like I can't ask for better clients and people who really run with what I tell them to do. You know, I'm not, and I never wanted to be a coach. Let's make that clear. Because I was about to say I'm not the coach who handholds. That's definitely not who I am. But I
True story.
I come with a very like um almost like, you're gonna do this is the best thing for you to do. But my clients inspire me by showing up and just showing up for more. They show up for
Mm.
more. They're doing some amazing things, but they're like me. They get hungry for more, and that inspires me to the amazing places. Like I have to show up for them. They are part of my why. I cannot.
Ooh,
They've
that's
trusted me
good.
with their money. They trust me with their time. They've trusted me with their businesses. I don't take any of that lightly, and that's I probably. I don't believe in the word overserve, because I feel like you have to serve people. That's why
Hmm.
we're here as leaders. But
Hmm.
another coach might come and look and say you overserve, like, and that's it's just who I am. But I think really they inspire me to keep going, to show up, to like no matter what the obstacles are, and they really. I've been blessed. I've been blessed in the pandemic with an amazing group of women who support each other and love genuinely each other. Like it's no backbiting, it's no craziness, it's none of that. It's genuine love and genuine
Genuine
support,
love.
and that's amazing. Like, um, and I thank God that He's allowed me to cultivate a community like that.
It is a love thing. It is indeed a love thing. I love that. I absolutely love that because that's my banner. I stand under a banner of love. So anything that is cultivated in love is, I mean, it can only be successful. Satan can't do nothing with that, right?
We get
He
to
don't,
do life together.
he
Like I feel
doesn't.
like we get to do life together.
Yeah, 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 yeah. I love it. I love it, love it, love it. So to Stevie's clients, you guys just know that you are an inspiration to her as well. And I do understand that because things are often reciprocated in cycles. And so I have had the pleasure of being inspired by Stevie, who started out, I'll say she started out as a client, and now she's kind of like one of my daughters. But she does inspire me because I'm real laid back. I'm real kind of, I'll get it done. And then sometimes they're doing like, lickety split, and it'll make me say, okay, Marilyn, you got to speed up a little bit. So even just watching her can be an inspiration to me at times, because I can be so low key that it can almost seem that like I'm not even here. But that's how God gives me the freedom to function like that. So I have a question for you. In light of all that is going on in the world right now, the pandemic and race relations and so many different things going on, I would be remiss as an interviewer. I'm coming for you, Oprah. I would be remiss if I did not ask a question such as this next one. Has race and or culture played a big role in how you have positioned yourself in the marketplace?
Wow, that's a deep question. Y'all see, she is coming for Oprah. That's a deep, deep question. Um,
Protective
and I saw
edges.
that question. Yeah, it's an edge snatcher for sure. I am a Black woman. I celebrate my Blackness. I celebrate the fact that I have Black family. I am Black. Like literally, I went to a
Yeah.
Black school. I date a Black man. Everything about me is Black, right? However,
Holla.
however, I grew up in a culture where I was the only Black girl.
Mm.
So I understand what it means to like I kind of I don't and I love all kinds of food. I've studied in Mexico. I love eating all kinds of different dishes. So I'm very much multicultural, but I
Mm-hmm.
do attract Black women. Like most of my clients are Black women, and the ones who are not, shout out to Angela, Miss Mary, and all the rest
Yes.
of Heather, my swirl girl, as she calls herself. Um, I tell them, I say, y'all family too. So it doesn't matter because I do in my family, my natural family, have all kinds of people. So
Yeah.
it's very much, yes, I am Black, and yes, I celebrate everything about being Black. And yes, I do, I support the mission. I support all of it. But at the same time, I'm very inclusive because the God I serve is inclusive. I don't just pray to a Black God at the end of the night. I pray to a God who created everybody. So to me, it's very much a heart-centered thing. Like, if your heart ain't right, then I don't want to deal with you. But I don't care what color you are. I don't care.
Yes.
As long as you don't care what color I am, I don't care what color you are. And
Right.
from a business standpoint, money is not black or white, it's green. So therefore, if we think from that standpoint, but no, I am very inclusive on everything. I'm very inclusive on the fact that we all love each other. Like, literally, I just like anybody else. So to me personally, it hasn't. I understand the global mission. And so I am cognizant. I am very cognizant of not just having any, like, I use all kinds of people in my in my marketing. I basically use my clients in my marketing. So, I learned that from a young lady a few years ago when I started for an organization called the Queen's Foundation. Her name was Nadia Moffitt. And Nadia is amazing. She actually was Miss North Carolina 2010, and she would use our girls in the marketing. I was like, that's so dope. Like, this is real life. So I think that's caused me to do that. But no, I'm not to the standpoint where I'm like, I do believe all Black lives matter, yes, but I don't believe that I can't serve somebody who's not Black.
That's right. Right. I love it. I love it. I love it. So we're going to wrap this up. I got 2 more for you, but these are easy peasy ones. No more edge pulling. No more edge pulling. These are kind of fun. So in a nutshell, who is Stevii Mills?
Woo. It's funny because Q in the song should have just Stevie Mills.
Yes.
That would have been good. Yes. That would have been good for that question. But literally, some of the lyrics are like, stick around should empower you. And she's just keeping it real. Like, literally, that's what I am. What you see is what you get. My pastors can tell you, you find me in Destiny Christian Center when I'm back home in North Carolina, then I'm the same girl that you find right here dancing and having fun, and that's just who I am, and that's who I've embraced. And so I put all of that, including my Jesus love, inside of my business, and that's been the biggest game changer. I'm so glad people are like, Stevie, you are not that serious. You can't be tight button in business. And so I really value freedom over everything else, even above money. Believe it or not, I value freedom. And so I believe that I am a gypsy soul, kind of nomadic. I'm like, I love the location independent lifestyle. You just go live wherever. It's okay. But that's who I am. I'm literally just Stevie.
Just Stevii Mills. Yes. And finally, to take us on up out of here, girl, shout out your village. Shout out your village. I got that question from the notion that it takes a village, right? And we know that it takes a village to raise a child, but it really takes a village to sustain all of us, not just as a child. I'm not talking about your clients. I'm not talking about your tribe. I'm talking about shout out your village, the people that support you and uphold you and being the woman that you just described.
Oh, Lord. Cultivating your impact in my village was like 20 pages long. I'm gonna make this real simple. Literally, my parents. I would not literally be here without my parents. Like, on any stretch of imagination, I would not be here. They gave me life, and I don't take that lightly. They had a choice. They gave me life, and they still give me life. They still give me life, and they still do the things. My mom is my best friend. We spend a lot of life together. My dad is my inspiration. I'm like, he's a real rock star. Like, listen, you have such an incredible life. So, they give me life. And every time, my why is my parents. Like, I want them to have the best of life that I could give. That's why I work hard. And I do work hard. I'm working smarter these days, but I put a lot inside of the world to work hard for them. My family, like the Mills family, I am a true Mills. I am a true Mills. And so my Mills family, my whole family, my mom's side family, my grandmother, I'm still blessed to have her. My aunts, my cousins, everybody. I'm family oriented. I gotta say my boyfriend, like, shouts out.
Hey, Dwayne.
Shouts out to him. He's amazing. He actually, he keeps me grounded because we've known each other. I was 18 when I met him. So he keeps me grounded in the fact that he knows that Stevie. He knows that Stevie.
Yeah.
Even before Dr. Stevie, any of this, like, that means a lot to me. He's still my friend, and we still get to spend life together. So, even this long distance relationship we working on, praise Jesus. That's a whole different conversation, a whole different ministry. But he keeps me grounded in that. I would be remiss to not say my clients. Like, anybody who's put $1 inside of my PayPal bank account, y'all hold me down in ways that you don't even know, because for me, it is that's how I live. Like, I don't want to work for anybody. So if you put 50 cents in my bank account, y'all hold me down too. Y'all part of my village. And of course, the woman who's right here with me, Dr. Marilyn Porter, I have no words. I have no words to how, Lord, when you came into my life, was at a very broken time. And I've been blessed in so many insurmountable ways. That's why, like, if anybody asks me who my coach is, everybody asks me who my coach is, who's helped me, and now we have built family. Like, I had to introduce my boyfriend to her just like my own mama. Like, we had to make it happen. But I think really, I just am so grateful for the relationship, so grateful, and I respect the relationship. And a lot of people don't understand the fact of it's almost like a Ruth Naomi type thing. Like, it's very much to the fact that I do honor what you've done in my life, and I'm an example of what that is. Because yes, I work hard. Yes, I know how to do certain things. But if it were not for you to come in when I was broken and be able to call and be like, this is happening, that's happening, and you're like, okay, Stevie, and just talk and just be able to have somebody like that. Because I am close to my parents, so I do tell my mama like 99.9 everything. But that one time, I'm like, and not only on the coaching thing, but just as a sister, as family, there's certain things that have happened inside my personal life, and you're like, okay, girl, this is what you do. And that, to me, that goes beyond. So, and the fact that you're like, Stevie, I think you've been coached enough, and you pushed me out the nest.
Ow.
I think that played a huge part.
And said, don't pay me no more money. Keep them last payments. I don't need them. You ready?
That played a huge part, because I don't know anybody else who would even have that much integrity. I know that's your power word, or that much foresight to even say. Because I was like, you sure? Wait. I got all these issues. To be able to do that. Because to me, it was, your personal development coach. So to me, I'm like, oh my God, what is happening? And I always felt you helped me to be Stevie. You helped me to grow into this woman who is able to charge and facilitate. And no matter whoever, comes into my life to support me, I always go back to my coach and say, listen, coach, is this the right move? Because I value that opinion so much, and it's been such a blessing. So, that is my quick and dirty version. I could get to calling people's name all day long, but that is, y'all are who hold me down, really hold me down, and that is, you helped me to become Stevie, because I didn't know her, and I didn't want to be her. That's a whole nother talk, but I didn't want to be this person. Now I get to have fun each and every day. Just like,
we may have to come back. Yeah, we may have to come back and do the I didn't even want to be Stevie conversation.
Yes, because that's a deep one.
but I thank you. I so appreciate you because you didn't have to say yes. You know, I know that, you know, you have a lot of things going on. You're building daily. You know, your schedule requires your attention throughout the day, every day, including, you know, Sunday. And so I appreciate you saying yes. When I told you that, I just felt like this was a conversation that needed to happen. You didn't hesitate. So I appreciate you for giving me the opportunity to share you with those who may think that they know you, but really don't have a real clue of what this thing is really all about, and the depth of who you are and why you are who you are, and allowing me to sharpen up my skills so I can go from Miss Oprah Winfrey.
I love it. I love it. I love it.
I love the interview process, and it's definitely something that you will see me do more of. So I will probably have this conversation with you about, because you are so multifaceted, and I think that there are so many people in your tribe or in your community that so many different sides of you, but only one side of you may speak to them directly. And you know what I mean? So it's important that they have an opportunity to really know who you are, and to really know that, like, you know, like you say, your clients don't consider themselves paying you. They consider it an investment. It's good to know what you're investing in, right? Nobody likes to just, you know, be throwing money out there and not know the core. So I love the idea that you are so open and so free, and we share that we are not bound to anything, and ain't nobody mad but the devil. So thank you guys so much for being with us on tonight. I have had a blast. I hope I didn't tug on your edges too
It was great. It was great.
much, Stevie, and I'm certain that to share in because this is a historical moment, right? I'm just gonna say that this is a historical moment, right? One day, somewhere in the world, this recording is gonna be played, and our voices, the sound, the vibration of who we are, is gonna be in the room in places that we've never laid our feet. So to God be the glory. So I don't know if you have an outro, but if you do, I will silence myself and let you go ahead and take us on out of here.
Thank you, thank you, thank you, Dr. Marilyn Porter. Thank you all who have been here. Y'all know what I say. Y'all know me. Make it a great day. Don't have a great day. Make it a great day. Why? Because you, and yes, you too have the power to do so. If you need me, just know how to spell my first name, Stevii.com. And I'm pretty easy to find. Hugs and love. Thank you again, Dr. Porter.